Hello everyone. A slightly different message, no episode this time, but a few updates from the Edtech Podcast. So first up, it's our 5th anniversary as I publish this. So yay and happy birthday to the Edtech Podcast, which has been always a wild ride, taking in over 200 episodes, countless downloads and connecting with new ideas all over the world, whether that's been in person, where I've had the liberty of travelling to many of the countries where you're listening in, or more recently, virtually so. This last year has been as wild as any, with our downloads leaping from 10,000 per month to over 40,000 during the peak of the crisis in 2020, as people got to grips with EdTech, online learning and remote working. So thank you to all you new listeners, and thank you again to our loyal listener and subscriber base too. During 2020, I was also lucky enough to welcome a new baby into the world, who's just recently celebrated his first birthday, and we think he's totally brilliant. But because he arrived just as the world of EdTech was exploding to meet the demand for teaching and learning continuity, I didn't have the normal sort of maternity leave and pretty much jumped straight back into the world of work, writing reports, publishing episodes and collaborating with our podcast partners in the early and evening hours. So this summer, dear listeners, I'll be taking some time out during the summer months. So what will I be doing? Well, some of that time will be to spend precious time with the young babe on a sort of mini tour of friends and family he hasn't met yet, and to help him navigate the big wide world beyond our garden, which is gradually opening up. So I'm really looking forward to that special time and being able to do that. I'll also be spending some time doing advisory work and the odd webinar. And I've got a few things lined up with universities and a venture investments outfit. Oh, and I've also got an online course which has been developed up on how to launch a podcast, or everything you need to know to kind of get to grips with podcasting. So again, I'll probably put details of that on the website, but it can be a self-guided course, or you can supplement that with sort of face-to-face clinics where you can kind of ask questions in real time as well. I'll also have some time to work out what professional development I should task myself with to skill up. So it's been 5 years since the podcast and since I left the world of employment to set up my own thing. And where we're constantly talking about upskilling on the podcast, I'm conscious that that includes me also. So I'm looking forward to having a think about where my time is best spent on that front. And then on a personal level, I'll also be practicing with my new pursuit, which is bashing a drum kit and trying to make it sound nice. But more importantly, on the EdTech podcast front, so we won't be putting out material or episodes until the autumn term. We may have the odd thing over the summer. We'll have to see how that goes. But we will be busy behind the scenes. So what does that mean? That means scoping out new series ideas and formats, which I've got a few that are sort of bubbling away, which I can share on request. Building up new podcast series partnerships. So those series obviously need the all-important podcast series partnerships to help make them happen, and working on new guest confirmation. So again, taking the time out to think laterally about who we can have on and who would be good to talk to one another. So yeah, I'll have more time to take a big breath after the pandemic, the baby arrival, and 5 years of the podcast to, and this is a great expression, pod back better. Aha! So what does this mean for you? If you're a subscriber, you don't need to do anything. You'll probably see a new series trailer from us at the end of the summer. So just hang tight. you can always listen back through to some episodes which perhaps you haven't had a chance to yet, and you'll hear what's next. And I think there's going to be a very exciting new phase of EdTech, which takes all the learnings from the last year and a half and piles them into a sort of even better offering. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. If you're interested in being a new series sponsor, you can get in touch via our website. As I mentioned, we're in planning phase right now, so it's a great time to chat about that. And if you have strong ideas about educational thinkers and doers who need to be heard from, again, you can contact us through the website. We do receive a stupendous amount of emails, so it sometimes, again, can be quite hard when we're in the production cycle to get back to everyone. But we'll hopefully have a little bit more time as well to be able to do that. And if you're interested in writing a blog, a guest blog during our summer months, then again, that could be one way to get involved. So that's it from me. I'm off to drink a cup of tea to celebrate the Edtech Podcast being 5. It's been a tremendous privilege and so much fun and hard work, but such a brilliant thing that I've experienced, and that comes down to all the amazing people that I've got to talk to, either as guests, as people that I've worked with alongside on the podcast, or heard from as listeners, and the fact that you're all out there somewhere, whether you're doing the washing up, hoovering, walking your dog, driving in the old world to work. Even though we can't see you all, I hear that you're out there, and we appreciate everyone who listens in. So thank you again. If you want to give us a shout out or a happy birthday message, we would absolutely love that. And we are on all the social medias. So whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you can say hello, and that would be great. And that's it. Have a great summer, everyone, or winter if you are listening in elsewhere in one of the countries that's currently enjoying winter, just to confuse everything. We'll be back in September, October 21. Until then, stay safe and look after one another. Bye-bye.